After Rob Reiner and his wife passed away, the family's lawyer made his final will public right away. This caused a huge wave of anger from the public. Instead of giving people peace, it made everyone mad and suspicious. Nick Reiner, the son who had always been seen as the most troubled and unstable one, got most of the money just because his parents worried about his future. California law says that anyone who kills their parents can inherit from them. But Nick has been diagnosed with a mental illness. Could this be a small legal trick that lets him get around the law and take a fortune worth $200 million? Did Nick know about this well ahead of time? And did that make him do something to his parents so he could get the money? At the same time, Romy and Jake didn't just sit there. They quickly got lawyers who wanted to fight the will, not just to stop Nick, but also to take away the part given to Tracy, the adopted daughter. They said she wasn't real family by blood. In the middle of all this mess, something Rob Reiner had told friends before came back like a sharp pain. My kids are everything to me. I've never loved anyone like I love them. Now, as the kids he loved most in the world fight hard over money, those words feel sad and painful. Was that total love ever really valued? Or did it, from the start, accidentally turn into a reason for a mean fight over money? On December 14th, 2025, the famous director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer Reiner were killed in their big house in the Brentwood area of Los Angeles. Just hours after police got there, their son Nick Reiner was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for causing his parents' deaths. After Nick Reiner got arrested, one big question came up right away. Who would get Rob Reiner's $200 million fortune? It's worth noting that Rob had 4 kids by law: Nick Reiner, Romy Reiner, Jack, E. Reiner, and Tracy Reiner, his adopted daughter from his first marriage. A lawyer who deals with estates and inheritance, Sean Weisbart, gave his expert opinion on Nick Reiner's case with the about $200 million his parents left. Weisbart said California law has a clear rule called the Slayer Statute to stop killers from getting money from their victims. Basically, if someone on purpose and in a crime kills a person they were supposed to inherit from, the law treats them like they died before the victim, and they lose all rights to the money, even if it's in a will. Weisbart stressed that if Nick Reiner gets found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder like he's charged, this rule would kick in right away, and for sure. Nick's expected share would then go to the other 3 siblings, Jake, Romy, and Tracy. In fact, the Slayer statute can even be used in a regular court without waiting for the crime trial if they can show more than 50% chance that Nick on purpose caused the deaths. But lawyer Weisbart also mentioned a big legal trick. The Slayer statute needs the killing to be on purpose. If Nick is found not guilty because he's insane, which seems like what his defense is going for with his long history of drug problems and mental health issues, then the rule might not work. In that case, Nick could still get a share like normal because there would be no purpose in the act. Even so, what made people madder than Rob Reiner's death was a scary detail in his final will that showed a shocking truth and made anger and doubt spread everywhere. Lately, a paper thought to be the famous director Rob Reiner's last will got leaked on online sites. It was made about 2 years ago. This will surprised and even shocked the public and people close to the Reiner family with how it split the money. From what leaked, Rob Reiner chose to give as much as 70% of his around $200 million fortune to his second son, Nick Reiner, the same one now accused of killing his parents. That part is about $140 million and includes full rights to the classic movies he directed or made through Castle Rock Entertainment, like When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, and Money from Seinfeld. Not just that, Nick was also set to get the main Brentwood house, a New England-style big home where the family lived for years and where the crime happened, now worth more than $10 to $13 million. Lots of people wondered if Rob Reiner had some feeling something bad would happen, or if this choice just came from love for a son who had lots of personal problems. The rest of the money was split much smaller. 20% went to Tracy Reiner, the oldest daughter from Rob's first marriage, to Penny Marshall, about $40 million. At the same time, the last 10% was split equally between the other 2 real kids, Jake and Romy Reiner, so each got only about $10 million. In the will, Rob also wrote a short but strong feeling message. I've always thought that every kid has their own way in life, but Nick will need the help that I can give him. This message made many feel sorry, but also unsure, because it kind of explained why Rob gave most of his money to Nick even with the risks and family fights. For many years, Rob and Michelle had seen Nick fight with drug addiction and big life problems. Job failures, money troubles, and even times without a home, getting so bad into drugs that he needed help from his parents, made Rob very worried about Nick's future. So, he chose to leave Nick the biggest part, hoping to give him a way to get steady, handle long T, RM money-making movie rights, and keep the Brentwood home, a place full of family memories. In the will, Rob also said this was his way to help his son get a shot at being on his own and not falling into sadness. Even knowing Nick had lots of problems, still the short but very touching message he left said, "I just want Nick to have a chance to get on the right track so he doesn't make the mistakes I've seen." This shows the choice to give Nick more was all from deep worry and care for his son's future. As for Tracy Reiner, the oldest daughter, she got 20% of the money, about $40 million. Rob knew Tracy had her own family and duties, like taking care of her kids and helping her husband. This part was to make sure she could take care of her family without money worries. The choice also showed Rob's thoughtful thinking about the different duties and needs of each kid. The two other kids, Romy Reiner and Jake Reiner, got only the last 10%, about $20 million total. Rob thought both of them had built their own steady jobs and so didn't need as big a share as Nick or Tracy. His plan was to split the money fairly based on real needs while keeping what he saw as fair. Rob once said to them, "I know you are grown and can stand on your own, but I want to make sure everyone is taken care of in their own way." The Brentwood house in Nick's share was not just property, but full of so many family memories of happy times and hard ones. Rob wanted Nick to have this house so he could feel family worth and have a steady home. The leaked will of Rob Reiner caused a big wave of public anger. Many people couldn't understand why he would give 70% of his money, including all movie rights and the Brentwood home, to Nick Reiner, a guy facing first-degree murder charges for killing his parents. The whole thing made many wonder if Rob's love and letting things slide somehow helped cause this bad event. On social media, tons of mad comments came out showing upset and shock. How could he leave most to such a troubled kid? While Jake and Romy were always good ones, some straight-out blamed Rob's choice. He loved his kid too much, and accidentally he set up the tragedy. This shows that wrong, kind of letting go, could be really bad. People started asking about the limits of parent love, especially when giving too much money and power without rules can cause bad results. Many experts on minds also said Rob's strong favoring and trying to save Nick with money, power, and things without really controlling his actions might have accidentally made a place where Nick could do extreme and violent things, ending with his parents' deaths. This anger also shows a sad truth. Love and letting things go, when done wrong, can hurt not just the loved one, but wreck the rest of family ties. People felt deep sorry for Jake and Romy, seen as good, independent kids with steady jobs, yet now pulled into a bad event they didn't cause. Along with anger, many felt sad for Rob himself, a dad who loved his kids with no limits, but got blinded by too much care and favoring, only for his choices to accidentally cause a horrible bad event. One comment on X said, "This shows that love with no limits can sometimes be more dangerous than hate." When Rob Reiner's will was officially shared on the afternoon of December 19th, 2025, Jake Reiner was still in Houston. He got an email from the money management office at exactly noon and read it again and again, his face getting pale. 70% to Nick, only 5% for him and Romy. This can't be. Dad promised he'd be fair to all of us. Nick ruined everything. Now he wants the money too, Jake said to himself, hitting his fist on his desk. Full of anger, he right away canceled his plans, booked the soonest flight back to Los Angeles, and left ready to fight. As soon as he got there, Jake went straight to his dad's estate law office, Lyons & Associates, a top firm in downtown Los Angeles. They sat at a big wood table with Garagos and Teresa Lyons, the estate lawyer, next to them. The air felt heavy, and the will was in the middle like another piece of crime proof. Romy looked hard at the 70% for Nick, her hands shaking. Why would Dad do this? Nick ruined everything. Now he wants to take all of Mom and Dad's money too. Jake nodded, voice full of anger. I don't get it either. Dad worried about Nick because of his drugs and no job, but $140 million and the Brentwood house. That's where Mom and Dad lived, where it all happened, and us, the ones who do things on our own, get just 5% each. Romy wiped her tears, voice getting louder. And Tracy, too. She's adopted from Dad's first marriage to Penny Marshall. She's not Mom Michelle's real kid, yet she gets 20%, $40 million. Why more than us? The real kids raised by Mom and Dad from the start. Jake held his sister's hand tight, eyes red. I'm thinking the same. Tracy has her own family and job. She doesn't need help from anyone. But us? Mom and Dad were always proud I did news work, and you did art without ever asking for money. Now this will feels like Dad punishing us for being on our own while giving to Nick and an outsider. Garrigo spoke up, voice calm but strong. I get how you both feel. If Nick gets found guilty, the Slayer statute will take him out and the 70% will go to the others automatically. But for Tracy, she's legally adopted and treated like a real kid under California law. If you want to fight her share, we need to prove wrong influence or that your dad wasn't thinking clear when he made the will, which is really hard. Romy shook her head hard. No, we have to stick together. Not $1 to Nick or Tracy either. She's not real blood to Mom Michelle. This money should go to the true real kids of our parents, you and me. Jake agreed right away. Yes, we'll sue to cancel most of the will and ask the. One time, he gently told them, your parents will always be here listening and helping whenever you need us. Rob's kids once said the love Rob and Michelle gave wasn't just words, but real actions. They got help from parents in hard times, especially Nick, who fought addiction and no steady life most of his years. Rob and Michelle even worked with Nick on the project being Charlie, hoping it would be a way to connect again and help their son face himself. Romy once told friends, our parents never left us no matter what. Jake and Romy also called Rob a very involved dad, one who stayed close like a friend, not a far boss. They felt the patience and kindness Rob gave each kid, making sure no one got left even in hardest times. Close friends of the family also said Rob was a dad who always put family first, wanting his kids to feel his love and protection every step of life. Even Tracy, in the middle of the money fight tension, said this bad event went against what her parents taught. She said Rob often told his kids, family first. You must always value each other and help each other. Don't let money ruin your ties. Those words now seem to ring in the law office's intense meetings, reminding all that their parents never meant to cause fight. Many are now waiting for a fair decision for Nick Reiner. But one clear thing is he has acted strangely sure even with public watching. People notice that even with very serious crime charges, Nick seems sure and active in getting ready for defense, especially in picking his lawyer. Nick chose Alan Jackson, one of the top crime defense lawyers in Los Angeles, known for big-name clients like Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and many horror murder cases. This pick was seen as a smart move showing Nick's drive and careful planning in such a bad case. With lawyer fees guessed at over $2,000 an hour and total maybe millions, many wonder. Building his money base. Plus, Rob Reiner kept getting back money from big movie wins, letting cash come steady even as he worked less. Real homes made up a big part of that money and tied deep to happiest memories and worst bad event of life. The Brentwood home in Los Angeles where Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner lived for years was the main thing. Bought in 1991, the big property covers almost 1,000 square meters with many bedrooms and bathrooms, big garden, pool, and fancy living areas. Its now value is guessed from over $10 million to more than $20 million, depending on market and checks. More than a house. The Brentwood big home stood for the steady and success Reiner reached. Yet, it was this place that became where the couple died, turning a spot once full of laughs into a scary end for a life that seemed full. The real value of the home is now tied to the mind hurt it carries. Besides Brentwood, Rob Reiner also had a beach home in Malibu Colony, an area known for Hollywood super rich. This home was not just fancy getaway, but good money maker guessed $15 to $20 million. At top times, it was rented for hundreds of thousands a month, showing how Reiner used things to make steady cash. Earlier, Reiner bought and sold a home in Beverly Hills, making big profits and showing his smart eye for home buys. These deals, mostly not public, quietly helped grow his already big fortune, like bricks building a strong money wall around family life. In the end, the legal fights among Rob Reiner's kids over the huge money have become a very sad family bad event. Parent love, once holding together, has been ripped by fighting, disagreement, and law moves. Every choice, every paper, and every word in law offices now rings with hurt and letdown that Rob and Michelle would never want to see. People are shocked as family ties get tested by money and power, bringing hard questions. ID love and letting go help cause this bad event. Who really deserves the history Rob left? And can the siblings make up when the law fight ends? These questions have no answers, making the Reiner family story both gripping and very sad. What do you think about this law fight? Who will win in the end? And can family ties still be fixed? Leave your comment below to share your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to see the next parts in the sad Reiner family story. Every share and comment helps us better see the results of love, money, and power in a famous family.